So today I'm going to be doing my exponential functions video assignment. So to start, I chose the base function of y equals 2 to the power of x. I transformed this function to y equals minus 2 bracket 2 to the power of 1 over 2x minus 2 close bracket minus 4. So I started off by already drawing in my base function, which is 2 to the power of x. Kind of showed how to do it with this. This is like my initial coordinates. So to start off, it's important to start off with stretches and compressions. So I'm going to start off with vertical stretches and compressions. So this value over here, outside of the bracket, the 2, this means that there is a vertical stretch since it's not a fraction, so it's a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. When doing this, the x values actually stay the same. So I'm going to keep these x values the exact same, but the y values are what change. Since it's a factor of 2, we are just going to have to multiply these numbers right here by 2. So 1 over 4 times 2, that equals 1 over 2. I'm just going to finish this off. That's 1. That is 2, 4, and 8. Next, we are going to be doing a horizontal stretch and compression. So in this case, when looking at this value right over here, the 1 over 2, that shows that it is a horizontal stretch by a factor of 1 over 2. Doing this means that the y values stay the same in this case. So I can just write those in. So that those stay the same, but the x values change in this case, which means that we are going to have to divide all these x values by 1 over 2. When doing this, that minus 2 divided by 1 over 2, that actually equals a minus 4. That equals minus 2. That stays the same. 1, so that's 2. And then 4. So then these are done. So we can check these off my list. Next would be reflection. So when doing this, this over here shows that this negative sign shows that it is a reflection on the x-axis. So that means that my x values are all going to turn negative. This would mean that my y values would turn negative, not my x values. My x values would stay the same in this case, so I can just write those in. And then all of these would turn negative, so that's 1 over 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 4, and minus 8. And next, so we can get rid of that. Next are the translations. That's horizontal translations and vertical translations. So when looking at the inside of the bracket, we can see that there's a minus 2. That means that that would be a horizontal translation 2 units to the right, since it is a negative. So when we do this, these values, we would add 2 to these values. So that means minus 4 plus 2 would equal minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 would equal 0. 0 plus 2 would equal 2. 2 plus 2 would equal 4. 4 plus 2 would equal 6. And then over here, my y values would have a vertical translation by a factor of 4. Since it is minus 4, that means that they will have to translate 4 units down. So when doing this, these values would we'd have to subtract 4 from all of these. So minus 1 over 4 minus 1 over 2 minus 4, that would equal minus 4.5. That would be minus 1 minus 4, that would equal minus 5. This would equal minus 6. That would be minus 8. This would be minus 12. So that means that these are my final coordinates. So when drawing this, that is my final function. So I can just star that. These are my coordinates of my final function. So we can just put these in. So -2 and -4.5. That would be right here. 0, -5. That would be right here. 2 -6. And that would be right here. 4 -8. -8, that would be right here, and then 6, and then 6 -12, and that would be my final function. So you can just draw in that line. That's kind of crooked, but yeah, that's kind of like the line it should be. Yeah, that's how you transform that into that. Yeah, so we can check these off. I got everything. Thank you.